Hi everybody and welcome to Roadshow, the second seasonal championship this week, winter, of Series 8 in Forza Horizon 5. I managed to forget which season it is, and I'm more used to white winter with a bit of snow around, so the Mexican winter keeps throwing me off, so I need to use my brain a little bit to remember which part of the year it is. And we are driving this Audi R8 V10 Plus in this seasonal championship on the Copper Canyon Sprint. This is obviously road racing, and that's S1 class. The Copper Canyon Sprint is quite a challenging track. This section right here, which I'm going through, is the one where in any multiplayer race you have at least one or two people missing the checkpoint, and that's especially painful when this happens in trial, for example, because you know somebody's gonna miss the checkpoint, fall to the last place, and gonna have to play catch up, or maybe even force you to go into the third race. This corner I just passed is another challenging one. There's a very fast section before it, and if you forget to brake, which I do every second time I drive this track, you slam into the wall full speed and lose tons of time. In general, I'm not super comfortable in S1 class, I have to admit. That's a little bit too fast for me, not as challenging as S2 or X class, but still I need a lot of concentration and practice to actually show any nice kind of results in it. But it's made easier for us by the lack of difficulty on AI, so far I'm not messing it up too badly. It's obviously not a great time. I'm cutting the corners here, smashing into the fences and all various kinds of stuff. That's another challenging corner here, and I think, yeah, I started braking way too late, so almost lost it into the wall, had to drift a little bit to make through, and of course lost even more time, which is kind of a shame. But there's not a lot of the track left, and obviously AIs are nowhere to be found. Oh, missed this one as well. Jesus, I'm not driving too well here. The race is over though, so there goes suffering. Hopefully other races are a little bit less challenging, though as I said, with these kinds of speed I will need all of my concentration to actually do anything meaningful. Let's see how it goes next for me. Oh, Chihuahua Circuit. So that's a very small and tight circuit, and yeah, even less fitted for really fast cars. Anyways, we're running the tune by Rex Azur. Geez, the challenge of reading the nicknames or gamer tags in games is always, an interesting exercise. Sometimes you get something that is very easy to figure out how to pronounce, and others are a little bit more complicated. Nonetheless, despite the difficulty of reading the gamer tag, this person is very fast. If you look up their time on Rivals, you'll understand what I mean. Really good times. So this tune was called Underrated, so I assume it should be pretty competitive, not just in the single player scenario that we do now, and it is competitive. I mean, even with my messy driving, first place before the end of the first lap, so that's gonna tell you something. My usual benchmark is first place by the middle of second lap, so if I do it earlier, that means the tune is good. If I do it earlier with the messy driving, that means the tune is even better. So yeah, I'm gonna also try to take this tune for a spin in multiplayer. I should try that, or at least in Rivals. I don't know if I'm prepared to actually race other people in S1 class. There's the margin of error that is allowed to me in S1 and especially in S2 is way too small and I usually end up somewhere lost when I try to overtake someone and miss a checkpoint, or just mess up a corner and end up being slowed down by the anti-wall riding mechanic, which I actually like, but not when it works against me. So that's the plan so far. Last lap here on Chihuahua Circuit, and the paint I'm running is a Ghost Rider by PTG Fluix. I recommend looking at it because it's brilliant. The hood in particular is very nice. You'll see it on the finishing line, and overall just a recommendation to download this paint as we are driving to the finish. Just 2 corners, try to avoid the wall here, and there we are. End of Chihuahua. What's going to be the third? I can't remember. I need to start looking up the circuit names before I actually get into them, but you know, seasonal championships are meant to be easy, so I don't need as much prep apart from selecting a car and a tune. But let's go. So the last race takes us to Playa Azul Circuit. Really nice track, reasonably fast, couple of really nice corners which, if you catch the flow, allow to maintain a lot of good speed. Problem is, I'm not very great at it, but hope the good news, the good news is during the winter, dry season, there's at least no puddle in the first corner, because that one was driving me nuts in many rival sessions, in particular during the monthly rivals in Ferrari. I don't know how many times I managed to run into the puddle, spin out of it and mess up the whole lap afterwards. But so far so good. Again, up in the first place. This tune definitely does work, so I will give it a spin in rivals and see how it performs there, if I can manage to show some reasonably good time in it. Just not on this track, I think. Just not one corner is actually done the way I want it. Oh my gosh. Too wide here again, smashing the wall, dirtying the lap, finishing the lap number 1. And even AI is not falling behind yet. I mean, they will, of course, but this is the problem when I think when you mess up your driving but don't really realize it, that's bad. But in terms of feeling, when you know where you mess up and you still mess up, that's much worse. It just hurts when you know how to do stuff or what needs to be done, but actually fail to do it. Like this. Why did I go there wide? The problem with driving on high speeds, you go wide in one corner, you completely mess up the approach to the second one. So you have to take suboptimal line into the next one, and you lose time there and here. And then when you do it in rivals, you notice that you are 2 or 3 seconds off the time you set for yourself, and you know is possible. That's hurting. Right, let's try at least last lap to do it now. Okay, I wanted to do it nicely, and yeah, there I am. Went too much on the inside, tried to correct, lost the rear, smashed the wall. That's the story of the whole championship for me this time. I need more practice. Well, that's actually something that you need all the time in any racing game. More practice, always, non-stop, and that's what gets you good. I mean, not necessarily very good, I am not, but better than you were. So I definitely need to practice better, to learn tracks better, and in particular try driving some fast cars like S1 and S2 class until I can actually put not just a nice lap out of the 30 or 40 laps, but actually 5 consistent nice laps in a row. But unfortunately, Forza Horizon 5 is not particularly fit for that kind of training. The Forza Motorsport would probably be better, but even that lacks quite a bit of information about split times and so on. So, maybe I need to look up other games as well. But that's for another story. With that, the video is over. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.